I will always want the taste of ketchup in my mouth. Right? I think I can somewhat deal with that, but the mayonnaise that I like, not only do I have to deal with it, then other people have to deal with it. My wife would have to deal with it. She hates mayonnaise. Like, she hates mayonnaise. So, like, she would never fuck me. That would be horrible. So, ketchup taste. Thank you.
Hello, what is your name?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, top that, Amanda.
I got kind of a name one, but I've been watching. I've been watching for over 20 years the whole franchise, Jane Silent Bob, Mallrats. So I wanted to know two-parter.
So since you were
what was
like
the
3,
most
right?
fun or like funniest moment you've had working on the movies, and then which one was the most difficult to shoot?
Ooh, okay, that's good. I definitely know one of my fondest memories that I feel like always stands out when someone asks. I know that, and then the other one is most difficult. I don't know. I would say most difficult. I would say Clerks would be the most difficult because I was so nervous. Didn't plan on acting. Wasn't everything. I was putting roofs on houses, and we'd do it late at night when the store closed. At 10 at night, we'd be working till 3 in the morning, which I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to being in front of a camera. And yeah, it was tough for me. I was super nervous, so much so that like the first scene we shot was where I'm like, oh, Berserker, sing as girls. And I remember like the first 3 takes, I was like, oh, sing Berserker, like sexy, you know. And Kevin was like, cut, and he was like, I was so nervous. He's like, you got like go figure it out. Luckily, blackberry brandy and a big fat blonde. I was like, Stitch, tell me what you do, you know. And I worked it out. So that would say Clerks. And then my fondest memory is when we were doing Jam Bob Strike Back, there was this scene where Will Ferrell's inside of the tunnel, and we run out the tunnel. It's like a spoof on a parody, whatever you want to say, on The Fugitive. And we jump out of the tube, and Suzanne's holding us so we don't fall. You see after Will Ferrell jumps out and over the waterfall. But while we were in this, on a stage and inside this big tube, they had to put more lights up and stuff, and we're sitting around waiting while they're doing it, because they're like, hold on, it'll be a couple more minutes. But I have to go back to this, is when we were getting hair and makeup every morning, that song just came out from Shaggy. So she called me in the shower, wasn't me, and they called me in the bathroom, right? So that CD had just come out, and I loved it, right? I loved that song, and there was like 3 others in a row that I would come in the jail, I'd give them the CD, and the hair and makeup people would put the CD song on, and we just play it while I was doing my hair, and they would put makeup on me, and people would come in and out during, like, because Will Ferrell comes in, he gets his makeup, and then Kevin would come out, and so that was every morning, so everyone started hearing those songs over and over and over. And so we were in the tunnel hanging out, and we were like waiting, and I was sitting there bored, so I was like, and all of a sudden I feel someone on my shoulder turn me around, and fucking Will Ferrell grabs me, starts dancing with me, he's like, it wasn't me. I was like, holy fuck, I'm dancing with Will Ferrell. And it was so awesome, because I love Will Ferrell, I'm such a fan, and so he was so nice as well, like from the other questions, super nice dude, and I love him and all the stuff he does. But for him to grab me and remember and like throw that word out and then start dancing with me, I was like, this is awesome, and I'll never forget it. So.
Well, thanks for answering the question and for the good memories.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nice.
Hello, what is your name?
Hey, Jason,
Hi. Hello, Bill.
I seen that Kevin posted something about a sequel for Dogma here recently. I was wondering if you can give us any information.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the sequel. I mean, right now, before the sequel, I mean, Kevin, honestly, I know Kevin's already has like a Mallrats 2 script written sequel. He has another Jam Bob movie. But I know that he's been posting a bunch because finally, like forever, there's no chance of a Dogma 2, or if you notice, it's hard. It's the only movie you never see on streaming,
Yep.
You never see in DVDs in the store, is because Harvey Weinstein has personally owned that all these years, and he's in jail, if anyone doesn't know. So we couldn't do anything with it, and at one point we asked if we could buy it, and he's like, he wanted lots and lots of money, we're like, we can't afford that. And then like other people have reached out and he hasn't sold it, but I guess recently, and I don't know all the details, but he finally sold it to somebody else, another company. that company has reached out and says, hey, we want to like do a re-release, like a 20-year anniversary disc or something. So I know there's things moving on, and Kevin posts about it, and he even also wants to like, I think he's working on right now possibly showing at a bunch of theaters throughout the U.S. and such, and then him and I would go and watch the movie with the audience and do a Q&A after, like we did with Reboot and with Clerks 3. So that's probably what you've been reading. And then again, if that all goes well, who knows, then hopefully down the road, it definitely wouldn't be this year or next year, but maybe down the road there's a Dogma 2. But I know the next movie right now that we've really been pushing for, and there's a script, and there's even half the money we're just waiting on. I think recently there's word that possibly we got all the money, is Jay and Silent Bob's Store Wars. Store Wars. And it's because you know at the end of Clerks 3, Jay and Bob, you find out on their own dispensary. And what the movie's about, the script's about, Jay and Bob's Store Wars, is that a dispensary opens up across the street, and it's all about this comedy of us fighting and battling it out with this other dispensary. So again, it's looking really good that we might shoot that by the end of the year. So keep your eyes peeled. Guys, if you get a chance, when you come to my table, or if you come to my table, I have my Twitch on there. Please follow my Twitch, come hang out and stuff. I play Call of Duty, we sometimes unbox things, we hang out, we chat and stuff. I try to do it, I do it less with the 2-year-old, like I said, but I still try to squeeze in at least an hour each day. So if you get a chance, it's free. You just gotta like download the app and follow Mewes, JAYMEWES. Go.
It's kind of funny you brought that up because you're going to know me in your Twitch chat as Old Man Gamer for Life.
Hell yes, I
That's the reason why I came up here because I've been a long-time fan. It's awesome to finally get to meet you. I've got this partner up with you and Lala.
And found to be missing there, who's over there, look at that.
Oh, okay.
So there,
That's the reason why I wanted to get this. I'm honored. It's just a perfect plug for when I come up. And my real name is Bill. It's just kind of funny the other guy was, but I figured I'd throw out that.
Yeah, tell everyone. So also follow me, your Twitch. Oh, and that's your Twitch too. Yes, the Old Man Gamer for Life. So Call of Duty tonight, maybe. Yeah, if you get a chance. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get on. What it is? Well, yes, I know. I didn't know who else would pick. I'm not allowed to say. And it's such a bummer that right now I can only play Call of Duty. That's all I can say right now. That's all I can say right now. But so for now, the next, I guess I can't play. I just can't stream call anything. But anyway, next.
Hi. My name is Cecilia.
Hi. Cecilia.
Yes.
Hi, Cecilia.
Sorry, I'm so nervous.
It's all right.
I kind of like what I was going to ask, but I had a few things.
12 inches.
But anyways, you're an actor. I love you. This question is about Clerks. If you could play any other character in the movies, who would you play and why?
Well, that's a good one. So the first Clerks or any of the movies, or just Clerks, the first one, from Kevin's Pierce universe?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. So I'm trying to see. Let me think. See, I feel like Brody character is really awesome, but at the same time, I would want to be. I don't try. It's because I'm trying to selfishly think I'd want to be a character that keeps getting put in the other movies. Right? When Kevin rewrites them, right? But as a character, I would say. I mean, if I wasn't trying to get in all the movies, I'd want to be either Barbie or Loki, one of the angels, because I thought both of them were really awesome in the movie, and you get to be an angel and all that stuff, right? So one of those characters. But if I wanted to be in all the movies, and selfishly, I would say I keep throwing in like Dante, because Dante's in all three Clerks. And he's also like in Dogma as his cousin Hicks. He's in Mallrats as the contestant. So he's also been in all the movies. So that's a great question. I remember, I never really sat and dug deep, because I mean, why would I? I'm fucking the best character. But yeah, I would say I'd want to be Dante, or because then if Brian gets to be in all the movies, and I'd want to continue to at least somehow slide into all of them. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
I sure love it.
First thing, I think I speak for everybody in the room that thanks you for being here today and not canceling at the last minute.
Yeah.
For a lot of other people.
No, did they cancel Sons of Bitches?
Especially the people that bought the photo ops.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
I don't want to get off too upset.
Yeah, fuck it, who needs them? We got Mewes, right?
Luckily, about a month before the cruise,
Yes.
I saw you in Tulsa at the Tulsa Company.
Oh, nice.
Brick Tech Company.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious, and everybody that was with you, I mean, everybody, it was a great show, good crowd. The thing is I know how hard stand-up is.
Yeah.
But the thing that was crazy was, people could have went to the show that never knew anything about the movie, because a lot of your stand-up was about your kids and your life experiences and things.
Yeah.
Because I had a date with me that she'd never seen any of the movies. So I thought, she's going to be disappointed. But she wasn't. She laughed her ass off.
Okay.
And are you going to continue to do this?
Yes, I am, and I appreciate you saying that, because I always wondered that when I first started, I told a bunch of stories about clerks in the movies and stuff, and I realized I started taking them out and putting other stories in, and I want their perspective. So I looked over it once, because it's funny, I don't know if he was one of them. We stand up, Jake. Do you remember if he was one of the ones?
I think so.
Yeah, he was the really.
Cruise too?
Yeah, he was the least funny one, right, of the bunch. I'm just kidding, but no, I appreciate it, and I definitely am. Him and I, actually, we're going to do just the two of us are going to be doing a bunch of different places in the next, I go home and I think it starts in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I renamed it, and I'm going to tell all new stories. It's called Mewes and his Diary of a Man-Child. So keep your eyes on it. Right now they're booking the cities, but we're still booking more. So we might hopefully
Come
come
back to Tulsa. Come back
Thank
to
you.
Tulsa.
Yes, sir.
Your VIP sold out in 5 minutes.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hello, step on up there. What is your name?
Jason, I'm curious how much of a hand you might have in a writing process, or if maybe you riff a lot. And it's been stuck in my head for 14 years. Who wrote Jay's Rap?
The Jay's out at the talk about Kevin. Yeah. I wish I did. So you have yeah, Kevin wrote that. The one I did myself is in the beginning, I think, in Clerks, when I'm going in, I'm like, noise, smoke over me. Because Kevin was like, we were just walking in at first, and he was like, oh, it's just dead silence, it's boring. He said, just start humming or doing something. And then I started doing that. But yeah, I can't take credit. Kevin came up with wrote the song, the Mark song and stuff. Sorry, what was the other thing you were saying about?
Do you do any riffing?
The riffing, no. So I'll tell you. So Clerks, like I said, I was super nervous. So I literally, not to mention Kevin was very specific. Like, hey, I wrote a script. Those are my words. Use my words. So Clerks, there was no riffing. It was just exactly dialogue and how the script was written. Same with Mallrats, and same with Chasing Amy and Dogma. So much so that Kevin tells the story. I can't really tell it and do it justice, but Kevin tells a story about how he was really tight about words, and Ben Affleck on the scene in Chasing Amy when they're at the park, and him and Joey were chatting, and then she says something about fisting, and he goes, man, well, what do you do for, he ad-libs something like, well, what do you do for something, and he says, you hit him in the head with a bat? And Kevin said that he made that up, and he was like, what? He's like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, yo, I'm putting a little bit of my own sauce. And Kevin's like, no, he's like, read the words that I wrote, like say the script. He's like, if you want to fucking throw in your own sauce, write your own script. And then Kevin always says, he wrote, what's the fucking, the one that, Good Will Hunting, that won an Oscar, That's the joke, is Kevin's like, fuck those words, use your own, and then he won an Oscar. But my point is, Kevin was really tight about anyone ad-libbing anybody. And it wasn't until really Jay and Bob that he started like loosening up a little bit. A little bit with Dogma because like there was more people involved, Chris Rock and he like there was a couple like maybe a fuck thrown in here, this there. Jay and Bob we loosened up more because I was the main character and I had lots of dialogue and him and I would be doing we were in so many scenes that there are so many different things that I would like throw something and he would be like, oh that's great, that works better than what I wrote. But again, not a whole lot. And it really wasn't until Zach and Mary make a porno that he stopped being super tight and just being like, hey, you do your thing. It's because Seth Rogen and Craig Robertson, both of them are fucking ad-libbers like a motherfucker. And they would get up and just riff and like say half of what he wrote, you know, and add their own stuff that still had the same meaning to it, but was funnier maybe, or worked better with it. I'm not saying I never, but definitely the first four I never. And I would say from Jay and Bob, maybe Clerks 2, all that stuff. Then I started getting to throw a little bit of business in, but still, mine is still 80% Kevin and 20% me.
Hey, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
I'm crying for what?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Hi, step on up. What is your name?
My name is Selena, and I actually have a weird question. So I know you also not just from Clerks, but I also know you from Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. Now, I have a question on, so Jimmy and Jay are almost similar. Did you kind of, when you were doing Jimmy, did you like pull a little bit of Jay with that?
I think when they asked me to play Jimmy, they wanted him to be the stoner janitor. So like, I guess yes. I mean, again, I'd like to say that I'm like fucking the guy who like walks around and is like, I'm only Jimmy. Don't call me Jay until the movie's done or the show's over. You know, like a real strong method actor. But again, I just feel like I tried to change it up to be not too much Jay, but again, he was the stoner with the like double-headed dildo, being horny makes me horny. It was very similar. It was like if Jay got a job as a janitor and shit was a little bit older, it had to be a little bit more adult, you know? I mean, again, I tried to change it up a little, but of course there's little bits of Jim in there, so.
Thank you.
It was a great show. I'm still bummed that they got canceled, like, because, the season 2 got nominated for like 6 Geminis. It's like Canadian, awards and stuff, and it won Best Comedy Ensemble. So I'm like, dude, they're fucking nominated for all these awards. It's definitely getting a season 3. And then they were like, it's too expensive, and they canceled it. So, and then they made the animated movie. Did you get to finish it with the animated movie, young lady? I forget. Did you see the movie, the animated movie, to top it off?
I have not.
Oh, you gotta see it, because end of season 2, there was like the cliffhanger, and then we were supposed to do season 3, but it got canceled, so they made an animated movie.
All right.
And it finishes up and closes out the story, so check it out, yeah.
Hello, Sergeant Star, U.S. Army retired. You're meeting up in Colorado, August, with the rest of the crew from Clerks. Can you expand what's going to happen during that event in Colorado Springs?
Colorado Springs, is it another comic convention?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're saying Brian's gonna be there and a bunch of other.
Yeah, I was checking it's in August.
So it's awesome when you come in, right? You come in all our tables together, and we're just all fucking love. Like, it's like a big Clerks orgy and shit, right? No, it's the same as this. It's just everyone, lines up. And usually when they have a bunch of people that are from the movie, that they'll do group photos. Like I feel like that's they usually do line us up and we're all at the tables next to each other, but there's nothing special. Sometimes they do panels together. I usually don't do panels, but I don't know, not that I don't like doing them with them because I don't like them, but I just like to be able to do Q&As by myself. So they go be like, hey, do you want to do a panel with Brian, Jeff, Marilyn, and Scott? And I'm like, nah, they can do it because they're really, So that's really, it's just very similar to this, but just like there'll be a couple more options, like to get a photo with everybody. There'll be a panel with all of them and all that, so. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your service.
This is last, right?
Yeah, we'll get through these last 3.
Okay, let's get it.
Hey Jason, I'm Brian.
Hello,
Nice
Brian.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First off, I love the King Diamond show.
Thank you. I got it
a
from the
lot of people
show.
that grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s. Mallrats, those were my coming of age films.
Okay.
I had an older brother that was like 7 years older than me, and he's like, he would go upstairs while I half runs over and watch Mallrats and see tits for the first time and have a great time.
Nice.
That's
a good big brother.
Yeah, no, my older brother Eric's great. I want to know what some of the films were when you were a kid, like what were your coming of age films that you particularly liked?
That's a good one.
Mine, all my movies, man. I feel like I watched more than comedy. I feel like, of course, it was Porky's. I watched Porky's as a kid. There was, I can't think of the name of the movie. Where they make Weird Science. Sorry, Weird Science. I was thinking of. So those are a couple of any Chris Farley stuff. I love Chris Farley stuff. But we watched a lot of Van Damme. I watched a lot of Van Damme. I love the action movies. I watched Van Damme, Steven Seagal, all the Schwarzenegger, like all of those movies, Total Recall, all that stuff. I watched more than comedies. Even still now, like when I watch TV, I don't watch a lot of the comedy shows or sitcoms. I watch a lot of Law and Order, NCIS Los Angeles, Matlock. You know, I like the Murdoch Mysteries. Awesome. So many shows, stuff like that is sort of what I watch now. So even when I was younger, I'd say I like the action shit. Van Damme movies were my favorite. And there was a couple horror movies. You ever seen Blood Beach? That was one of my favorite horror movies because the dude was laying on the beach and the monster came up and like bit his wiener off. And as a kid, that impact, and I was so intrigued by it. I'm like, oh my God, his penis got a dog. What happens? Anyway, but yes. So, thank you very much, brother. Thanks.
With that current TV lineup, you really are a good man now.
I've always like, even as a kid, I used to love Matlock, Murder, She Wrote. I watched it with my grandma, my mom. So, what's up, young man?
Hey, my name's Hunter.
Hunter,
I'm my YouTuber here.
Yes, sir. Over there.
I just had a question. I had heard, I'm a new fan to this universe. I had heard that you and Kevin Smith maybe have a comic book shop out in Jersey or a theater
Yes.
or something. I'm in New York on treatment pretty frequently, and I'd love to make my way out there. If you
Yeah. No, definitely. The great thing is if you go there, you can do it's not you just take a trip there and you're like, oh, I got to see the store, which is cool, but all in that area, the vicinity, you can take your train from New York right into Red Bank. In like 2 blocks down, 3 blocks away from the train station, there's JM's Stash, which is our comic store. That's been there for almost 30 years now. It's been there, and there's a bunch of cool restaurants and stuff like that. And then you can't walk there, you might have to Uber some. Not too far is Kevin, Atlantic Cons. Kevin bought a movie theater him and I grew up going to as a kid. There's like 4 theaters and it's like a mom and pop shop with him and a couple of his friends, other people from Highlands, Ernie, and some guys bought the theater. And they always hold events there. Next week he's doing a cop-out screening. And like he'll get people to come. Like I went there and hung out and we did a Q&A after for Jan Bob Strikes Back. You know, Jason Lee went for Mallrats. Holland went for the Clerks All Night where they watched they closed the doors at midnight, started watching Clerks, and watched Clerks 1, Clerks 2, Clerks 3, and then they had breakfast from Quick Stop in the morning. So Kevin holds events all the time there, and then there's always someone there, special guests and stuff like that. Cop Out, I think Tracy Morgan's going to be there for Cop Out, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, it's definitely worth making. If you're in New York, definitely make the trip, because then you can also take an Uber not too far away from the movie theater is the Quick Stop, the Artist Video, you know what I mean? You can stop by there and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely you should go down to Howard Wait and check, I don't know if it's on smodcastle.com or Kevin's Instagram. I feel like he usually posts about stuff that he's an event, but I definitely would try to see if it's a night that Kevin's having an event, because maybe during the day you go to the comic store, you go to Quick Stop, and then that night you can go to the movie theater and watch a movie, and then Kevin's usually there, and he'll sign stuff, takes photos, he auctions things off. It could be a good time, spend the night and shit.
Awesome, thank you so
Awesome,
much.
no problem, thanks, man.
Hi,
like it.
Last one, I hope you told me a fucking singer. Okay.
My name's Christy, and I'm here with the Catch Rescue Community Table all weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just had a quick question for you. Would you fuck me?
She has the chapstick and all. Why don't you drop your drawers and touch your penis? You ain't gotta eat enough. What did you do? What did you do at the? Would you fuck me? I would fuck me. I love that. Hard, yeah. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out here. Let me be right around. Give it up for thank you so much, everybody.
Before you guys go up, we have a request of all of you. We'd like to get a photo with you for the convention social.